Yo, what's happening, YouTube family? It's your man Jeremy Doodoo here, and in this video, I want to talk about how you can leverage design libraries. Now, why do I want to talk about this? Well, the screen that's on the left, I designed from scratch, right? And this is how many people who reach out to me design the personal projects that they're working on. They'll go into Figma and they'll choose a frame, and they're creating rectangles in that frame to make a header and a footer, and they're choosing random fonts. And what I notice is that there's a lot of inconsistencies in the screens that they're creating, right? And the screen on the right is leveraging a design library from the material design guidelines created by Google. And I changed out the header style here. I'm just going to change the color, but as you could see, there is a lot of consistency here. It looks visually much better than the screen on the left. And if you're somebody who's trying to level up your UI design skills, this is a video that's really going to help you out. I'm going to show you how you can produce something like this on the right. Because when it comes to applying for jobs, you want your visual design work to capture somebody's attention, right? When it comes to applying for roles nowadays, there are many other people who are starting out just like you, who already know about design libraries. But if you're somebody who's not, hopefully this is a video that is going to put you on a path where you could create highly visual work that looks like this screen on the right. So a couple libraries I want you guys to check out, right? The first is called the Human Interface Guideline that was developed by Apple. And in these guidelines, you could read through how Apple thinks about things when they are designing for desktop applications or mobile apps or phones for the apps for the watch and the TV app, if you are designing for those sorts of things. But when it comes to mobile, right, I'm going to show you guys how to read through this. You see that there are principles that they bring up that they encourage designers to think about as well. I'm going to go to this section that says user interaction, and you'll see that there are examples of how how interactions should work if you're designing for an iOS app, right? So it says here tap, and there's an example of that. So definitely check out this entire library. You don't have to memorize all these things, but these are just things to keep in mind when you are building out an iOS app. There's also another library that was created by Google called the Material Design library, right? So in here, you have similar information that was created by Apple, except this is Google's philosophy. So there's a lot of good information here. But I'm going to go to where it says interaction, and just like gestures that I just took you through from the HIG guidelines, material design has their own principles as well. So if you are either an Apple user or an Android user, I'm sure that you are familiar with a lot of these interactions. But when you are creating prototypes, right, in your personal projects, these are things that you definitely want to keep in mind, right? If you're somebody who has never used the design library before, you can go into Figma, into the community section. And this is, I searched for iOS design app, and this is one of those libraries that came up. So another designer has already created these screens, and I could leverage some of this work if I was creating my own custom app as well. There's also a library that was created from the material design team, and I see that library here, right? There's a bunch of different components that I can copy and paste if I was building out a custom app. If you don't like any of those libraries, you can also search for other libraries as well. So in here, I searched for a mobile design library, and the one that caught my eye was the one that says Nucleus UI Component Library. And when I opened that up, this is what I saw. There's a lot of different screens that are already built out where I can copy and paste these different screens onto the work that I'm doing for myself. So I built out this screen here just by copying and pasting into the frame here. And if I wanted to customize any of this stuff, I could do that, right? So this, say for instance, I wanted to change the color of this footer, I could change it, right? So boom. Oh, looks like I need to go into each little component here and change it. But you guys get the point, all right? So I'm just gonna, boom. I could change out all that different, all those things. Oh, now this is getting messy. I'm gonna stop. But you guys get the point. So we went from this to this. Now, which version would you want to use in your portfolio? I'm going to assume that you want to use the version on the right. And, you know, when it comes to your visual design skills in your portfolio, you want work that is highly visual, it looks very consistent, and it captures somebody's attention, right? So if this is where you're at today, no worries. I used to design screens from scratch myself as well back in the day. But you know, you can use design libraries. It's 2022. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And when you get into a job, oftentimes they have systems that have already been created. And within those systems, you know, that's how they help designers on the team build consistent layouts, right? They don't just want to have a designer building out a screen one way and then a designer builds out a screen another way. You're using a design library so all of you can work together and create a cohesive experience, right? So hopefully this is a video that helps you out. You no longer have to design screens from scratch. Definitely check out these libraries. You're going to learn a lot of good information in there when it comes to improving your UI design skills, when it comes to improving your interaction design skills. And it's going to take your work to the next level if you are starting out. So anyways, guys, I hope this video helps you. If it did, change your mind a little bit. You already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.